What's up YouTube, welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're going to be looking at the AQUARI-AXE. Now the AQUARI-AXE is obtainable by actually completing your best frenzy challenges, which you do need 50 points to actually unlock this harvesting tool. Now it is easier said than done. Now it is a Slurp series harvesting tool. Now it is part of the undercover summer set. So without further ado guys, let's get this review started. So the AQUARI-AXE. Now it's a very fun name to actually have for a harvesting tool. It is very cool, I do love it. It does have floppers in the top of the harvesting tool that do look like the shape of Nemo, which is actually very cool. Then you do have seaweed from the shaft all the way to the top, and just the harvesting tool looks amazing. Now the only issue I do have is obtaining it. Like, my friend did get logged out about twice yesterday, so we did lose a lot of points to accumulate for this, but we did get it in the end. Now you do have to actually complete the task with just one friend. You could do it with multiple people, but the one to have the most points is the one that's gonna accumulate for your rewards to be unlocked. Now it is a very cool harvesting tool, I do love it. It is free, so you really can't complain. Even though it is a grind, it is still worth playing just to acquire it. Now it is from the Slurp series, but I mean, it looks like water to me. I could see where the Slurp interpretation actually comes from, since you do have that leakage, but again, it just looks like water. Now the harvesting tool itself does remind me a lot of the Sludge hammer we did obtain during chapter 2 of season 1 without the shape-shifting abilities. Now this one is more of a see-through, which again does look like water, not Slurp, and I mean, it's decent for what it is. So what's my final rating for the AQUARI-AXE? I'm gonna be giving the AQUARI-AXE an 8 out of 10. I mean, it's decent for what it is. Now I do like the little floppers on top of the harvesting tool. The seaweed is nice interpretation of the sea, and it just gravitates towards me because I do use a lot of aquatic skins in the game. Now you really can't complain since it is free, so I can't be too harsh on it, but if it was in the item shop for at least 500 V-Bucks, I would still say get it. Now the combo potential for this harvesting tool is universal, since it does have a lot of green, orange, and even blue, and it just looks good. So without further ado guys, let's get these combos started. For our first combination with the AQUARI-AXE, we're going to be pairing it up with Leviathan. Now this combination just makes sense. He is a fish out of water, literally, and just having this combined with the aquatic axe just looks very good. I do like the features between both of them, and it just matches really well with the theme. Then for the backend, we're going to be going with the Juggis. Now the reason I picked the Juggis is because it is also from the Slurp series, so it goes really well with the harvesting tool. Then you do have the container, and just the color scheme goes really well with the suit itself. Then for the concho, we're gonna be going with the waterfall. Now the waterfall concho is just water leaving your body, and he is a fish, so it makes sense. Then for the glider, we're gonna be going with the laser chomp. Now the laser chomp glider is just a shark with a laser on top of it. It is aquatic, so it makes perfect sense to actually equip it to this skin. Then for the wrap, we're gonna be going with the hex form. Now the hex form itself just looks very good. I do like the animation it does have, very subtle but still there. And then it does match really well with the suit that the Leviathan is using. Then for our next combination, the AQUARI-AXE, we're going to be pairing it up with a Fishstick. Now I just had to include Fishstick in this combination. He is my main skin after all, and just going with the default edit style just makes sense because it does match really well with the floppers on the harvesting tool and the curse scheme. Then for the backlane, we're going to be going with Shelly. Now again, another Slurp series backlane to go with an aquatic creature. So Shelly itself is just a hermit crab. You do have a shell on, and it just goes really well with the whole aquatic theme that Fishstick does bring to the table. Then for the control, we're going to be going with the Sky Swimmers. Now the Sky Swimmers is just little goldfish that do follow you whenever you're descending to the battlefield, and it matches really well because obviously he's a fish. Then for the glider, we're going to be going with the Downpour. Now the Downpour glider just made perfect sense to be used in this combination. It is just an umbrella that does have a water fountain effect, which goes perfectly with the aquatic theme. Then for the wrap, we're going to be going with the tidal wave. Now the tidal wave wrap itself is just a wave of water going to the shore, and the animation of it is just so beautiful and matches perfectly. Then for the next combination with the AQUARI-AXE, we're going to be pairing it up with Brite. Now again, Brite is another aquatic creature, and it just made sense for her to use it. She is a princess after all, so just combining them together made perfect sense. Then for the backlane, we're going to be going with the Anemone. Now this backlane does have this very cool, like, aquatic feel to it. You do see the fishes on the reef itself, and it just matches perfectly and beautifully. Then for the control, we're going to be going with the Slurp Stream. Now the Slurp Stream itself could be incorporated into water, and it just matches perfectly with the harvesting tool. For the ground, we're going to be going with the Flying Carp. Now the Flying Carp itself is just self-explanatory. It is a fish that you are using to descend to the battlefield, and even though it does have a scroll, it still looks very good. Then for the wrap, we're going to be going with the Aqua Royale. Now the Aqua Royale itself does have this glittery effect to it that goes really well with the skin tone of Brite. Then for our next combination with the AQUARI-AXE, we're going to be pairing it up with Jelly. Now for Jelly, we're going to be going with the tropical Edistyle, since it does make him into an all like slurp creature. Jelly himself does match really well with the harvesting tool, and then the mix of both colors go really well together. Then for the all back, we're going to be going with the Spectral Spine. Now again, the Spectral Spine is introduced into this combination just because it matches perfectly. It does get lost on his body, but it's still a very cool look to it since he is made of jelly, so you can incorporate it that's his spine. Then for the control, we're going to be going with the Conduit Crasher. Now the Conduit Crasher is a very cool control that is very looked upon. Now the control itself does match perfectly with the effects of Jelly's curse scheme. Then for the glider, we're going to be going with the Downpour again. Now I do want it to go more for like a sea creatures and everything, and the Downpour just got me covered since it does have a similar color palette and theme. Then for the ride, we're going to be going with the Frosty Glow. The Frosty Glow itself goes perfectly with this combination just because of the aesthetics it does have and curse scheme. Then for our next combination with the AQUARI-AXE, we're going to be pairing it up with Outcast. Now for Outcast, we're going to be going with the Ultra Ego Edistyle since it does turn her into an all yellow and black and to blue and black. I do like the combinations of colors between this and the harvesting tool, and it just makes sense because she is going fishing. Then for the back end, we're going to be going with the Containment Pack. Now the Containment Pack itself just have this very cool blue and black color scheme that overall just fits the whole theme. Then for the control, we're going to be going with the DNA. The DNA control is self-explanatory, it just matches really well with the blue aesthetic. Then for the glider, we're going to be going with the Holographic Glider. Now another umbrella in this combination. Now the Holographic Glider just goes really well because of the DNA control and the harvesting tool we are using. Then for the wrap, we're going to be going with the Optimistic. Now the Optimistic wrap is one of my favorite wraps and it's very underutilized. You do have this water effect on your weapon, so each time you do jump, shoot, or anything of those sorts, it is going to be moving, which goes perfectly with this whole. Then for our last combination with the AQUARI-AXE, we're going to be pairing it up with Ripley versus Sludge. Now we're going to be going with the default edit style for obvious reasons. The blue aesthetics of Now the blue aesthetics from Ripley versus Sludge just goes perfectly with the harvesting tool. Then for the back, we're going to be going with the Galactic Pack. Now the Galactic Pack just fits perfectly on the back. It does have this black and blue color scheme that overall fits the whole theme and color scheme. Then for the control, we're going to be going with the Abduction. Now the Abduction control is very funny because they did abduct Slurpy Swamp, so having them going for after Ripley just is funny and makes sense. And for the glider, we're going to be going with the Sky Sail, a simplistic glider. It is based off your chapter 2 glider design, and it does have the color schemes we need to actually match with Ripley. Then for the wrap, we're going to be going with the Morphic Blue. Now we do love the Morphic Blue, and again another wrap that is very underutilized. It does transform into a solid like blue and whitish color, and then it does remove it to make it an all black, and it just matches perfectly with the color design. Now for the honorable mention with the AQUARI-AXE, you could pair it up with anything that does have blue. Anything that's from the ocean or any of those sorts is going to match really good with this harvesting tool. Now those were the 6 combinations I did find for the AQUARI-AXE. Let me know in the comments below which one's your favorite. And if you guys are new to my channel, subscribe. I post videos for fake cosmetic skins every single day. And if you guys want to support the channel, my code is ENIGMAKIDD, all caps, 2 D's all together. Each time you guys use my code near the item shop or the Epic Game Store, I do get a small percentage of it, and it really helps this channel grow. And if you guys have any combo suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And for all my social media and Discord, they'll be in the description. And with that being said guys, I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.